Hello, and welcome to Radio to Real. My name is Rhonda, and I will be your host. Thank you for checking this out today. I'm very excited to get started. I have some really cool ideas, and as always, I'm going to talk about my favorite things that I hope turn into your favorite things, which is movies and music. Today we're going to start with one of my absolute favorite movies, and that is Wayne's World. I was thinking to myself, what would be the most perfect season opener, podcast opener that is just silly, has a good soundtrack, kind of portrays a little bit of what my life is right now in a weird way, and that's Wayne's World. So before I just chit-chat and give my opinions and my excitement about this film and its actors and the soundtrack, let me tell you a little bit about the movie. Wayne's World came out in 1992, and it was directed by Penelope Spheeris, and it was produced by Lorne Michaels and written by Mike Myers and Bonnie and Terry Turner. It's originally based on the SNL sketch by Mike Myers, and it stars Mike Myers in his feature film debut as Wayne Campbell and his best friend and, co-host Dana Carvey as Garth Algar. And they're a pair of rock and heavy metal fans who broadcast a public access TV show. It used to be a skit on SNL, Saturday Night Live. And those characters just became so beloved, and they would crack us up. They would have different sort of segments talking about different pop stars and celebrities. They would have the hosts on as their extra characters. It was just one of those classic creations. And Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, they've done so many crazy things and have given us so many cool characters. So now the songs in Wayne's World, so the movie came out in 1992. The songs span from 1966 to 1922. Some of them were re-recorded, which you'll be surprised to hear once I get to that, just for the movie. So now the soundtrack was compiled by the producers, Ted Templeman? Yes, Templeman. I don't know why I put a T in there. I'm thinking of that Boss Baby movie. And Michael Osting. So the soundtrack album was released by Reprise Records in 92 and features a variety of these different songs from artists and genres and eras. And the cool thing about it is the soundtrack album reached number 1 on the Billboard 200. The album was certified double platinum by what's called the RIAA, which is the Recording Industry Association of America. And that was July 16th, 1997. So the movie came out in 92, and in 97, the album is still in our ears, and it was big on the Billboard 200, which is so cool. So a reason why I wanted to use this movie for my first episode and to talk about the soundtrack is, for one, the soundtrack is badass. And for two, just the premise of the movie is really real life for me right now. So being an artist and wanting to create this podcast and just express myself, it really reminds me of just Wayne and Garth being in their basement, setting up their couch, and doing what they do best. And that's having fun together, talking about the music on public access. But besides that, they were just like local celebrities and did their thing, and they were just happy being who they were. And really, that is the coolest thing, and that's how I feel. I want a podcast because it's something I enjoy talking about and films I enjoy watching, and I hope you do too. And I hope you find all this information very exciting just as much as I do. And also, living in Aurora, Illinois, I am from the Chicagoland area, so just knowing these places that they drive down in downtown Chicago and on the south side of Chicago and the west side of Chicago, it's just very exciting what they use in the film. So, without further ado, let's get started talking about this soundtrack. So the soundtrack, if you find it on Spotify, has 13 songs. All 13 of those songs are in the movie, but there are also songs that are kind of in the background of the movie but are not on the soundtrack. And there are a few of them, so I'll bring them up when that time comes. But it's not a dire situation. So right away, the movie starts off real strong. So 5 minutes into the movie, after Wayne has us in his home, it's his introduction, and he's talking about the different jobs he's had and about his public access show. He's talking to the camera. It's a very intimate moment. It's just us and this character. Then he leaves his home. He gets into his best friend Garth's car, and they're on their way to a rock show. After we're introduced to those friends, there's two guys in the back seat, Garth and Wayne in the front. Right away, Bohemian Rhapsody plays. And we are on to the bridge, the opera portion of this song. And as they're listening and lip syncing, and Garth kind of lip syncs, it's one of my favorite moments when he kind of fakes the lyrics. That's a little towards the end of singing Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, before I get to some facts about picking this song, I really want to bring up again where they drive through in the Chicagoland area. So as they're driving in their car listening to Bohemian Rhapsody, which is this Queen song, they drive through key points in Chicago. And those places are Six Corners, and that's in the Portage Park neighborhood where Irving Park Road, Cicero, and Milwaukee meet, but there's a lot of corners. It's called Six Corners. It's very recognizable. It sucks with traffic, but we try our best. Then they drive past Joe's in Chicago, which is very popular, and they drive past a White Castle, which to me is just very Midwest. Like, you gotta have some White Castle. And then they drive past the Spindle in Berwyn, Illinois, and that's where they had 8 cars spiked on top of, the spindle, and it was 50 feet high. It's unfortunately been taken down many years ago, but my favorite thing that they drive past, that is off of Pulaski and 63rd Street, the big statue, the eyeglass statue with his arm out, but he's wearing glasses and has a sign on the front of him now about eyeglasses. Again, it's one of those very recognizable things that is still there. You could walk right past it. It's a very busy intersection. Again, terrible for traffic. It's Chicago. But it's in the West Lawn, Market Park area. But anyway, Bohemian Rhapsody is playing at this time. Now, that song wasn't that old at the time this movie came out. But there was a different choice for that moment. The studio and Lorne Michaels originally wanted to use a Guns N' Roses song for the headbanging scene, with Mike Myers demanded Bohemian Rhapsody, even threatening to quit the production unless it was used. And this was reiterated during an interview on WTF with Marc Maron. Mike Myers revealed the battle he had to fight for the Queen hit to be used in the film. He quoted, "They wanted Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses were very, very popular. They were a fantastic band. Queen at that point, not by me and not by hardcore fans, but the public had sort of forgotten about them. Freddie Mercury had gotten sick the last time we had seen them on Live Aid, and there were a few albums after where they were sort of straying away from their arena rock roots, but I always loved Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought it was a masterpiece. So I fought really, really hard for it, and at one point I said, well, I'm out. I don't want to make this movie if it's not Bohemian Rhapsody," unquote. So Mike Myers obviously got his way. Freddie Mercury presumably never got to see Wayne and Garth belt out the band's song. He unfortunately passed a few months before the movie opened. But the 1975 anthem, which is Bohemian Rhapsody, gave Queen a second wind, shooting up to number 2 on the Hot 100 and pushing the soundtrack, which obviously I'm saying now, Bohemian Rhapsody opened up the movie and opened up that soundtrack to number 1. And there was some speculation that Freddie Mercury did see the scene. According to Brian May, Mercury saw the headbanging scene before his death and found it hilarious and approved the song for the film's use. However, the producer Spears disputed his recollection in a 2022 interview, saying, "My guess that's not true." She explained that due to the short time frame between the completion of the film and Mercury's death, she believes it's highly unlikely that anyone would have access to a tape of the scene to show Freddie Mercury. But we do know how much Mike Myers fought for this song being used in the movie, and again, it opened up the soundtrack. Huge part. That is the most memorable moment when it comes to this film. So now let's continue. So as they're driving, they arrive at their donut shop where we're introduced to a lot more characters, and there's a song playing in the background. This song is Everything About You by Ugly Kid Joe. This is one of the extra songs that are not on the soundtrack. So after that, they get in the car and they drive again to the rock show where they picked up all their friends, and that's where they were heading. That's where we meet Tia Carrera, our new character who plays Cassandra. Her and her band, this fake band in the movie, are playing Jimi Hendrix Fire. This is another song that is not specifically on the soundtrack. They killed it. I love it. It's one of my favorite moments. I love Tia Carrera. She's an amazing singer. I love every outfit she wears. She is so cool. Rock star sex and lace and 90s. And funny. She was so funny. She laughed along with Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, which I don't know if I could be in the same room with because of how funny they are. I would just be laughing, not being able to handle myself. But again, shout out to Tia Carrera. She's beautiful and amazing. I loved my moment of interaction I did have with her. Maybe someday in the future, I could actually get her autograph. So this is the first time we meet her when Wayne and Garth show up to this show, and there's this band playing, which is her band named Crucial Taunt, and they are playing Jimi Hendrix's Fire. Now this is the first moment we have that's going to be a reoccurring moment between Wayne and Cassandra. He's in love with her right away, thinks she's a hot babe, and every time Wayne is looking at Cassandra on stage, I would say, it's not every single moment in the movie, don't take me literally, but the song Dreamweaver plays. Now, Dreamweaver is an original song by Gary Wright. But for this movie, Gary Wright re-recorded Dreamweaver just for the film, which is very, very cool. So you know he must have thought this was an amazing idea. And again, it's one of those memorable moments every time we see Wayne being in love with Cassandra. So moving on, we are introduced to some new characters, which is Russell and Benjamin. Benjamin is the big executive who wants to produce and buy out Wayne's World and make money off of it and just kind of ruin it. He's not a good character, but he plays it very well. And Russell is his second man. At this point, after we're introduced to them, they are showing up to the Cable 10 building to find out how to find Wayne and Garth. And during this moment, the Eric Clapton song Lovin' Your Lovin' plays, which is number 12 on the actual soundtrack. Continuing on, we are at Cassandra's loft. The whole band and Wayne and Garth were invited. At this loft party, her band, Crucial Taunt, is playing the song Touch Me, which is a song by the band Private Life. That song is not on the soundtrack. It is one of those extras. But it's a really cool song. I really love it. They play it later on also during their music video moment, and it's just one of those songs that just catch you. Plus, again, it's Tia Carrera. She just kills it. And again, there's another Dreamweaver moment. Wayne looks at Cassandra, and he's just falling in love. So throughout them driving back and forth between different concerts and shows and meeting Benjamin and meetings and things like that, there is a iconic moment when Wayne and Cassandra and Garth drive to the music store. And that is where Wayne is in love with a guitar. And he said he will have it. It will be his. Oh, yes, it will be. Then we have Wayne and Cassandra looking at this guitar. He asks to pick it up to try it. He starts playing the first 4 notes of Stairway to Heaven. Then there's the moment where the guy at the store stops him, grabs the guitar, and points at a sign that says no stairway. Wayne goes, "No stairway? Denied." Cha. Or something like that. I don't really remember. But in the No Stairway to Heaven scene, so the first 4 notes are played of Stairway to Heaven, but they were replaced with a different set of guitar notes in all of your home media releases of the film, which is like all the VHS tapes at the time, since the home video publishers considered the cost of licensing those first 4 notes to be too high, which at that time was $100,000. But in 2022, for the 4K Blu-ray release, the original notes were restored. So now when you watch it on any streaming service, it's the original Stairway to Heaven notes. So now I want to go back and grab my dad's VHS tape and listen to the random 4 notes they do, because that's what I grew up with. It's really interesting that I knew it was supposed to be Stairway, but I didn't realize it was off. So again, just to reserve the first 4 notes to be able to make a joke about this song was $100,000. Crazy. And that'll come up in the future with a lot of other moments in music and film. I've been researching so much, and it happens more than you expect when these artists are begging these musicians to use their songs. And as we continue on, at the 50-minute mark, the sequence with Garth and the diner girl happens. It's one of my absolute favorites. So they're back at the donut shop. They're hanging out at their table, getting their donuts, and Garth is just looking at the diner girl and asking about, how to get a girlfriend. And he's talking to Wayne because him and Cassandra are together now. He starts having kind of his own dream sequence, thinking about how he could approach this diner girl. It kind of fades and gets like glimmery and everything, and then it shows Garth standing at the jukebox. He hits the button, he turns around. He starts dancing and lip syncing to Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix. He's doing this little dance. He's walking up to the diner girl, and then it cuts out. It's not what you would expect when you're seeing just Jimi Hendrix jamming out on stage, burning his guitars. You don't expect to think of Garth hitting on the diner girl, but here we are. So now next, after the donut shop, we are at Benjamin's apartment, where Wayne, Garth, and Cassandra are there to just kind of talk business and have some dinner and drinks. And as they're there, the song All Night Thing by Temple of the Dog is playing in the background. Again, not on the actual soundtrack, but it is being played. Now, at this dinner, the character Benjamin is real slimy, like I said, and he is giving Cassandra a music deal, helping her make a video to get bigger and get noticed. And they're going to be going out to Chicago soon to direct this video. He wants Wayne and Garth out of the picture for the moment, so he gives them free VIP tickets to go see Alice Cooper in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And while they're on the way to the concert, the song Ride With Yourself is playing in the background by Rhino Bucket. Once they make it to the Alice Cooper concert, right away, they're showing Alice Cooper on stage. Wayne and Garth are in the crowd, and they're trying to kind of find their way out of the crowd to get to the stage so they could be a part of the VIP. During this moment, Alice Cooper is singing his song, Feed My Frankenstein. He's got his whip out. There's a lot going on. It's, again, a really cool moment. We have an actual rock star in our presence. So now a little story about Alice Cooper and his choice of song for the film. So Mike Myers originally wanted Alice Cooper's I'm 18 and School's Out songs in the film. But Cooper's manager, his name is Shep Gordon, convinced him to use the song Feed My Frankenstein instead. And a really cool thing that happened between this moment, so that was just picking the song. Mike Myers agreed, but it was Mike Myers' first meeting with this manager, Shep Gordon, and it made such a strong positive impression that they formed a friendship. So just a little extra information, Mike Myers directed a 2014 documentary about Shep Gordon titled Supermensch, The Legend of Shep Gordon. So just by picking the song and kind of having a discussion and coming up with Feed My Frankenstein for the movie, they became friends, and it gave Mike Myers more creative outlet to create a documentary. So good for them. So they meet Alice Cooper, and that song was performed. Alice Cooper's a really cool dude, always very intelligent. Another cool story I have about Alice Cooper is at another Chicago convention. It was a horror convention, not one of the comic book ones. It was a little after, the 2020 shutdown of things. This was around 2022 when things were opening up. They were having meet and greets again. Alice Cooper was at this small convention, and the tables are just in banquet halls. It's a very intimate setting. I love going to these. They're very well done. And I love scary movies, so doing anything horror is very exciting. But I went to go meet Alice Cooper. Lovely gentleman. Again, such a good personality. So welcoming to talk to. Not what you would expect when you see him whipping the camera on Feed My Frankenstein. But again, he's a rock star. You can't just always be a rock star at home. You got to have this kind of separation. So it was a great meet and greet. I'm very thankful for it. And I could say I met someone that was in Wayne's World, along with Tia Carrera. But I'm still telling myself I'm going to meet her in a better way. So after they are done at the concert, there's some kind of issues going on with the producer Benjamin taking over Wayne and Garth's show. He's paying attention more to Cassandra and her band, trying to eliminate Wayne. Wayne and Garth get into a fight. There's just this huge kind of pinnacle moment of things just kind of not working. After this, Wayne walks out on his own show. He wants to go find Cassandra. She's doing a music video in Chicago. He goes to find her and meet her. And at the music video set, again, she's playing the song Touch Me, which is originally by the band Private Life. So Wayne goes and convinces Cassandra to come back with him to his public access show. They're going to bring back the basement. They don't care what all the executives are saying. They're going to have an amazing show and get her noticed. There's this big shot driving through Illinois, and they're going to make sure he sees her band playing on the public access show in the basement. So they get that all started. Everyone's excited. They're hoping for the happy ending. And then this, I'm going to say, is my favorite cover of the whole movie. Cassandra and her band play their cover of the song Ballroom Blitz, which is originally by the band Sweet. So this song is one of the ones that were re-recorded and sent out commercially as Tia Carrera. So another amazing music moment. The band's playing. We're seeing what Benjamin's up to. We're seeing all the guys jamming out and being friends again. We're seeing Mr. Big or whoever it was in the limo that is supposed to see this band on the public access. He's like turning his limo around and screeching because the song is so good and he wants to get to Wayne's house. And that is the last main song on the film. The happy ending happens, the credits roll, and then we hear the Wayne's World extended edition song that sounds very much like the song that they open with at the beginning of their public access show. And during Saturday Night Live, it's the same kind of version of the song they would use, but it's an extended, like full written out rock song. And that starts as soon as the credits start rolling. So that's the movie. That's just a little rundown of every song as the movie progresses. Again, there's a lot of other songs on the soundtrack. They're just kind of played in the background at times, but listening to the soundtrack from song 1 all the way to 13 really gives you a good sense of what to expect out of the movie, the fun you're going to have, the era of music that you're going to be experiencing. There's a little random ones in there that kind of make you put your eyebrows down, but then when you see it in the movie, it works and it's funny because it's those moments between the characters that make a huge difference. So the film was a box office success, and it debuted at number 1. The film's final domestic gross was $121 million and some change. I'm not going to get all specific. It's making it the 9th highest grossing film of 1992, and the highest grossing of the 11 films based on Saturday Night Live. It's the highest grossing of the 11. And I would love to dive into some other SNL movies, but I gotta listen to their soundtracks first. So again, like I said, there's some songs featured in the film, but not included on the soundtrack. And just to kind of let you know about those, I went over some of them depending on the moments. A song called Cold Chills by the band Kix. The song Everything About You by Ugly Kid Joe. There's the song Making Our Dreams Come True by Cindy Greco. Happy Birthday, Mr. President, which Mike Myers kind of sings and portrays pretending he's Marilyn Monroe. So it's not like a song, but he's pretending to sing like her. The theme from Mission Impossible. They're just crawling on the grass. It's just one of those musical moments, but you recognize it as Mission Impossible. And then Romeo and Juliet. So please go back, watch this movie. All of my references will be on my show notes. Everything I've used. I used Wikipedia. I used IMDb. I used different interviews between Mike Myers. Please check out this movie. It came out in 1992. If you haven't checked it out, have you been living under a rock? I absolutely love Wayne's World. So this came out in 1992. Our next movie came out in 2003. Thank you all for listening. I am so excited to get this journey started and to be jamming out with you all. Until next time, keep rocking.